Okay, so today we're going deep on origins.
Origins of what exactly?
Uh-huh. Well, that's the thing, right? We're talking about like the beginnings of everything.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, and to guide us on this incredibly ambitious journey, we have Isaac Asimov's book, Hannes Heer, which translates to The Beginnings.
Oh, interesting. I haven't heard of this one.
Yeah, it's translated by Tharwat Abdullah, and honestly, it's an amazing read. Really covers a lot of ground.
Okay, well, let's hear it then. What are we looking at in this book?
It's not just about like skimming the surface. You know? We're going to try to really extract the core insights of how humanity came to be.
Okay.
Life on Earth and even the universe itself.
All from this one book?
Yeah, seriously. It's all in this single volume, and it's quite fascinating.
Okay, well, I'm intrigued already.
Yes, so like the scope of this book is incredible. You know, Asimov takes us from those very first dreams of humans to fly.
Now like Icarus.
Yeah, exactly. Like those early attempts all the way to the vast expanse of space.
Whoa, okay, that's a huge jump.
Right. It's really breathtaking. And one thing that really struck me was the dedication.
Oh, yeah. What's it dedicated to?
It's dedicated to the youth of Egypt.
Oh, wow.
And in memory of Ismail Mizhar.
Who's that?
He was the translator of Darwin's Origin of Species.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And also to Salama Musa, who was like a big advocate for evolutionary thought in Egypt.
Oh, that's really cool, setting the stage for these big questions about where we come from.
Right. It really sets the stage for this journey into those really foundational narratives, the origins of everything.
Yeah.
So on this deep dive, your mission, if you choose to accept it, is to gain like a clear and concise understanding of these monumental beginnings as Asimov presents them in the book.
Okay, challenge accepted. So where do we even begin with this?
Right. Well, I think it makes sense to start where Asimov starts, which, believe it or not, is with humanity's earliest ambitions.
Ambitions, like what?
He really kicks off the book talking about the first dreams and attempts at human flight.
Huh, that's interesting. Why do you think he chose to start there?
I think it's because it really highlights that inherent human drive to overcome our limitations,
Yeah, I could see that.
Like even way back then, we were looking at the sky and wanting to conquer it.
Yeah, it's a powerful image for sure.
Right. And from there, Asimov kind of sets the stage by introducing the very concept of history.
Ah, okay.
It's like he's taking us back to the dawn of civilization itself, showing us where it all began.
Wow. Okay, so we're going way back to the beginning.
Exactly. And then he walks us through the emergence of modern man, and then even more specifically, like, pinpointing it down to Homo sapiens.
So he's really laying out how we became us.
Yeah, exactly. And he doesn't stop there.
Yeah.
To really put things into perspective, he then presents this whole evolutionary path.
Okay, what's that path look like?
So he starts with, Sanxie Koi, which is basically like early hominids.
I see.
Then he moves on to Senyi Kusa, which are primates. And then finally to Kenchie Ste, which means mammals.
So he's showing our connection to the entire animal kingdom.
Exactly. It's like he's saying, hey, we're part of this grand lineage,
Oh, yeah. That's a cool way to look at it.
Right. And what's really cool is that he draws this parallel with ECLCMCCAA,
right,
which is the evolution of flight in animals.
Interesting. So like birds and bats and all that.
Exactly. And I think it's his way of showing that this desire to take to the skies wasn't unique to humans.
Huh. Yeah. That's really fascinating. It makes our own journey seem less, like extraordinary and more like part of this bigger trend.
Totally. It really puts things into perspective, right? And then from there, the book kind of zooms out even further and starts talking about the story of life on Earth itself.
Okay, so we're going even bigger now.
Yeah. So he starts with ECSCA, which are reptiles.
Okay.
And he talks about this really pivotal move towards CACAC, which means life on land.
So like the first creatures to crawl out of the ocean and onto the land.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And he really emphasizes the importance of CAC, which are chordates in this whole process.
What are chordates again?
They're basically animals that have a notochord at some point in their development, which is like this flexible rod that supports their body.
Ah, okay. I remember now.
And what's really cool is that Asimov doesn't just focus on the animals. He also reminds us that Earth itself is dynamic.
Oh, right. The planet itself has changed a lot over time.
Exactly. He talks about the movement of Casque, which are the continents.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And even the very formation of Casque,
Right.
which means Earth.
Yeah, that's a pretty big topic to cover.
Right. And to kind of drive this point home, he talks about Kaseke, which means fossils.
Ah, okay. So he's talking about the actual evidence we have for this ancient history.
Yeah. It's like he's saying, hey, this isn't just a story, We have actual proof of this.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Right. And then we get to zoom in even further and talk about the origins of cellular life.
Okay, so like the very first cells.
Yeah. So he starts with Kuske, which are multicellular organisms.
Got it.
Then he moves on to Sek, which are eukaryotes.
Okay.
And then finally to Shai, which are prokaryotes.
So like breaking it down from the complex to the simple.
Exactly. It's like we're peeling back the layers of complexity and getting to the very heart of what makes life possible.
Oh, that's really interesting. And does he talk about viruses at all?
He does. He even touches on Shai, which are viruses, showing that they too have a place in this whole biological world.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right. And of course, Asimov doesn't forget about the environment. He highlights the critical role of Shai and Shai, which means the ocean and atmosphere in nurturing the development of life.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Right. It's like he's showing us how all these pieces fit together,
Yeah, and it all leads up to that fundamental question of what is Shai and how did it even begin?
Right. It's like a cascade of beginnings, each one setting the stage for the next.
Okay, I'm with you so far.
And then, just when you think it can't get any bigger, Asimov widens the perspective even further, and we're suddenly talking about the cosmos.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah. And he starts with our closest celestial neighbor.
Yeah.
A familiar face. Shween the moon.
Okay.
It's like our first step out into the wider universe,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And then he expands outwards to the Junlan Olye, the solar system, placing Earth and all its life in this much grander cosmic context.
Yeah, I could see how that would blow your mind a little bit.
Right. And finally, we reach the ultimate scale, the universe itself.
Wow.
It's Asimov's way of offering us this glimpse into the immense vastness that surrounds us all.
Yeah, so basically, this book takes us from the first humans on Earth to the edge of the universe.
Exactly. It's incredible, right? So, thinking about all this, where do we even begin to process it all?
I don't know. Haha. It's a lot to take in.
Right. And that's kind of the point. I think Asimov really wants us to consider our place in this vast story. It's humbling and awe-inspiring all at the same time.
Yeah, I can definitely see that.
So what questions does this all spark for you? How do you make sense of these interconnected origins?
I mean, that's a big one, right? I think for me, it really makes you realize how much we still don't know.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Like, we've come so far in understanding our origins, but there's still so much more to discover.
Exactly. And I think that's the beauty of it all, It's this ongoing journey of exploration and discovery.
Yeah, and who knows what we'll find out next.
Exactly. And that's what makes it all so exciting.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to check out this book now.
You definitely should.
Thanks for the recommendation.
You got it. And thanks for diving deep with us today.
It was my pleasure. Always fun to talk about the big questions.
Couldn't agree more. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deep.
All right, see you later.
See ya.